Hey KJ.
Hi Sydney, so glad to be with you again.
I'm so happy to be here, and we are two Jewish moms
Shooting the shit.
and here we are today on a subject that's near and dear to both of our hearts. I was at KJ's house where I am right now, and I found this in her kitchen, the negative thought pot. Tell me about it.
That kind of looks backwards in the video, but if you flip it around in your mind, right, because the letters flip on Insta, it's the negative thought pot. So when my daughter was 9 years old, we went out to the computer store to get something. And when we came back, I inadvertently left the front door open. So my daughter Sage was afraid to come in the house, thinking that someone had broken into our home. Nobody broke into our home. She wouldn't come in. I held her hand. She stayed by the front door, and I had to check every room in the house. After I checked every room in the house, she still was afraid. So I brought her upstairs quite unwillingly, and then I grabbed a pot, which she grabbed, and I wrote with a permanent magic marker the negative thought pot. And I said, all right, let's write down all your fears and all your negativity. So we tear a strip of paper off of a piece of computer paper or notebook paper, and we write down the fears. When we're writing down the fears, any negative thing about yourself, you scroll it up. When you take that scroll up, you're physically touching your fear, your negative thoughts. Throw it in the negative thought pot, and in a safe space where you're not going to make the alarms go off, we set them on fire. And I did it with her so she would feel in community. I made Golden do it as well. And then every workshop since then, I've been doing the negative thought pot. So when that thought comes back to you again and you have that fear or any sort of experience where I'm not going to pass that test, I'm not good at math, oh, everybody in my family's fat, we all have diabetes, so why should I listen to what you have to say? To keep an open mind and to get rid of the negativity that keeps spinning, and we all have it, right? You remember...
I don't have any.
You don't... That's bullshit, not mama shit.
I have plenty, you're right.
So you say, I destroyed you. That thought comes back, and you physically remember the moment you destroyed that thought. And I say to the thought, I destroyed you, remember? You no longer have power over me. And it just goes away.
I love that. I love it because you make it so tactile and so physical that the next time it comes into you or comes out of you, you can let it go.
You have a way of dealing with letting go. What is the Torah, and in your experience as a rabbi, how do you guide people to let go? And what sort of experience can help us with that from a Jewish perspective?
Well, I think about the Jewish ritual of Tashlich, which only happens once a year, but I think about it as something that you could actually do every day, every week, every month, as an individual, a couple, or as a family. Tashlich comes from the Hebrew word to send out, to let go of. And on Rosh Hashanah, it is traditional to go out to a body of water, a living body of water called Mayim Chayim, living waters. And we talked about how important water is.
Yes.
And we take all of the things that we feel negatively about ourselves, our actions, the mistakes, the errors, the ruptures in our relationships that have occurred in the year before, and we take them and we take pieces of bread, tiny breadcrumbs, and we toss them out into the water and we let them dissolve. Actually, if you do it in a river or a lake, you see the fish eating them. But I think a lot about that idea of letting go and then filling yourself up with the goodness, with the positive, with the reflections of who you want to be, who you aspire to be.
And allowing yourself to be open and perhaps have some space inside your mind to have new things come in that will fulfill your higher purpose.
Yeah, better things. More true to yourself.
Let's do it.
Love you, KJ.
Tashlich every day.
Tashlich every day. We are
two Jewish moms shooting the shit. Bye. Oops, the other way. We're not perfect.
Well, one of us is.